Let's explore what pop-up stitches are on the Husqvarna Viking Designer EPIC 2. Now these are fun exclusive stitches that have arrived on the Viking scene a couple years ago, and we have found that they can add that little 3D dimension. Now these were done with tulle. What I'm going to show you we're going to do with just little bits of fabric. They're actually kind of folded and placed and inserted when the stitch stops. So in the stitches that are considered the L menu and the dimensional stitches here, we can see that there's actually other types of stitches, including applique stitches, which we will do, and then as we go down, the pop-up stitches that are created. Some are pop-up stitches and applique stitches. There's a fun little ballerina. We'll do her as well. And the little part you insert as 3D is her dress when it comes out. Super cute. Stitch number 45 is the stitch that I was just showing you that I did on the Stitching Cosmos online course quilt. And if you're interested in more information about that course, there are links below this YouTube video. But here's what you need to know. Touch the question mark and then touch the stitch. And a little reminder of what you need to have set up. We need to have the needle stopping in the down position. And then this is what I'm looking for. Turn project 90 degrees counterclockwise. That's what I need to look for. When the machine stops, place the pop-up fabric from the right, touching the needle, and sew until the machine stops. And so that is what we're going to, it takes a step or two to figure this out, but do remember that if you go up to the Joy OS Advisor, touch dimensional stitches, and you're looking for the pop-up stitches. These were horizontal ones. And so here will be the information that you can follow, including the video that you'll find at the end. When you find the circle with the play button in the middle, that's going to hook you up with the video. So remember, stabilizer is key. We are going to disengage your integrated dual feed and put on the correct presser foot. So sew until it stops. Needle's going to stop down. And then when the foot pops up after it stops, you're taking that fabric, folding it in quarters, and taking the little corner and stitching. Then that was that 90 degrees counterclockwise to tack it down. So that's what I want to show you, how this stitch actually is created. And then you just continue until you sew your whole row. So we're just going to minimize this. Also, when you choose from the Joy OS Advisor, it puts only the pop-up stitches that are horizontal in your selection box. So if you want a straight one, here, we'll just do the one with a little bit of curve on it. Oh, there's some other fun ones that I could play with as well. Let's do one. Let's be creative. Now they do show that this is cut to the little gray part that's kind of looks like a fan. That's how you trim your fabric at the end. So don't feel like that's the only way you can do it. Like I did, I left a little bit more of the square corner look when it's finished. So next up, I am going to put foot S on, and I'll meet you at the needle. We were just playing with some of the theme stitches that are in this machine, and also the laser pictorial stitches. We've been having some fun with all the different styles of stitches. So I am a fan of using the start-stop feature of the machine. That way you don't accidentally go further than you were planning on. When the machine stops with that needle down, it stops. All right, so here's where we were guided by the video to fold the fabric once and fold it again. You don't need much fabric, but yes, you could kind of experiment with how much fabric you want. You're taking that folded corner and you're going to slide it underneath the presser foot right up to the needle. Now, if you need to, touch the foot up button and get it a little bit easier, a little further in. Just touch the needle, because watch what it's going to do. Push the start button, foot's going to come down, and it just tacks it in place. The foot raises up. You're going to turn that counterclockwise 90 degrees and push the go button again and let it kind of stitch that little securing bit. And then when it stops again, now it's ready to move forward to the next time. So I'll finish that stitch and then go back into kind of its little pre-decorative stitch, and then I'll do one more for you. So there's the little needle up. I'm going to raise the foot up just to give me a little bit more visual. Fold that fabric. Now, did you notice these are batik fabrics? So it makes it so if you are seeing both the front and back of the fabric, it actually looks really good. So that's my little extra tip that I like to use. Push that start button. Remember, it needs to tack it in place before you turn it. That 90 degrees counterclockwise. Remember, the lines on the presser foot can help make sure that you're turning it all away, and so they're nice and perpendicular. We'll let it do that little cute decorative stitch over the top of it, and then we'll let it go ahead and stitch. Once I push start, I'm going to touch the scissor button right away so I can finish up, and we'll just do 2 of those stitches, and then it's the time for your trimming. So if you feel like you want to trim those into kind of that shape like you saw on the screen, I'm going to turn my curved scissors around. There we go. And you could actually just give it a nice little haircut all the way around. If you don't like it, you could probably trim it again. But I've even had friends that would take and even do something like this, like give it a little snip and fringe out those little top pieces and give it a little extra dimension there. So have some fun, play with some of the different shapes, and then you can decide what look is right for you.